What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Justin Strickland, and I'm back, your host of the Ladder Podcast. Super excited about today's episode. I got a very, very special guest that he's just sharing some of his knowledge, some of his wisdom with us today. So before I introduce him, though, I want to make sure you're here for the right reason. If you're here so you want to learn about leadership. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to educate you, we're going to give you some free resources, give you the game so that when you leave here, after you watch the podcast, that you are better as a leader than you were when you came. And let's jump into it. Hey, what's up, Neil? What's up, my guy, man?
What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, man, this is my guy, Neil Watson. Give the people 3 things they should know about you, man.
3 things you should know about me. I'm from Wyandotte County.
I'm from Wyandotte
County.
Building.
Specialize in leadership, trying to motivate and inspire. And I am probably one of the mentally toughest people you will come across.
All right. I like that. That's dope, man. That's dope. So this is about leadership, man, and I've known you for a long time.
Right.
2 decades now.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that crazy?
That's a long time.
That's a long
Real long time.
Jesus, I'm old.
Since kids, sandbox.
Yeah. And so talk to me about, like, when did you discover, like, hey, I'm a leader? Like, when did that happen for you, and what was that like for you?
I think I've always had the leadership tool inside of me, but I think it really triggered probably when I got into high school, playing under Randy Springs and Daniel Parra. Just reaching up the more levels of basketball I went to is when my leadership was more valued and I was put more responsibility was put on me. I would really say it was probably Jay Herkelman.
Jay Herkelman
and Coffeeville. And that was probably the first time I really started to understand, like, okay, people are following me. I've got to take the lead. If I don't, we're going to be in trouble. He happened to put a lot of pressure on me. But Larry Eustace, my first year at Southern Miss, blamed everything on me. So that's when I learned the value of know everybody's spot, know everything that's going on, because somehow, even when I'm not in the play, it's my fault. So I think that was where it really began. To really I understood that I'm a leader. Like, this is what I'm meant to do. Yeah,
no, that's really cool. And you said something interesting that I want to highlight is, like, you were like, hey, man, Coffeeville was when I really, like, had some responsibility.
Right.
And then in Southern Miss is where it was on my shoulder.
It was on my shoulder.
And how that kind of pressure or that position kind of pushed you to use some of the tools that you always had. Why do you think, for a lot of people, because there's a lot of people watching this that are, like, super talented, and you've always been super gifted. Why do you think sometimes we need that responsibility to kind of step into that role? What do you think holds us back?
I think the fear of failure is what holds people back. I think people are afraid to fail. They don't want to be wrong. They want everybody to agree. So naturally, when you don't want to fail, you can't really step into your true potential as a leader.
Yeah.
Because leaders are going to make the decision, stand on the decision, and either you with me or you not.
Yeah.
You feel me? And if you're not, I'm still going to back up my decision. So I used to tell my mom, because she used to ask me all the time, are you never nervous to take the last shot? Don't you ever think, like, your teammates are going to get mad at you, or, like, all the fans are going to be mad at you?
Yeah.
I was like, honestly, I don't care. That's a part of being a leader. When I make the shot or when I make the right choice, everybody loves me. Oh, all the praise goes to Neil. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
But when I miss it, I'm okay with those same people hating me because I missed it. Because ultimately that opportunity is going to come around again. Yeah. So I think being afraid to fail is what holds people back from stepping into that role or that position of being a leader.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I think, like you said, I think a lot of people want the glory of the success, but they want to shy away from that accountability of failure.
Yeah.
I think basketball is a great
example.
Kind of highlight of that.
Great example.
Because and we grew up in the same era. Like, it's so interesting how basketball changes by era, and kind of we grew up and it's like, I'm taking a shot.
Yeah. I don't care who you are.
I don't care, like,
I put the work in for it.
Yeah, I put the work in. Like, I'm taking the shot, make or miss. That's the right play.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because with that came a lot of, praise and acclaim. But it's so interesting watching, as far as just basketball, like, a lot of analysts and stuff looking back to, like, our era, they'll, like, kill guys. Like, he missed this many shots. This was his percentage. And we was like, that's not what it was about.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't about that.
It was about
it was about the confidence to take the shot. And as leaders, so I mean, in sports, I feel like it's easy to see, right? Mm-hmm. How do you feel like your journey from college to professional challenged your leadership capacity and ability?
I think the challenge was when you were a leader, depending on the area, the job, the sport, whatever you being a leader in, things change in the dynamics. So for me, being a college leader, leading in college was a little bit different because I get to that point where I'm around other college boys, college men, college young men.
Yeah, y'all the same age.
We all going through the same age, going through the same thing, like same adversities. We on campus together, things like that.
Yeah.
When you step into the pro world, you leading grown men.
Yeah.
And to lead grown men, let alone a set of grown men from different countries, different moral backgrounds, different spiritual backgrounds, different mental backgrounds, you got to really become more humble. I can't come yell at you, man, get this together, yada, 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 and do that with everybody because somebody going to punch me. You feel me? Like,
I got a wife and kids.
Right, like I
talk to me like that.
I even learned that in college, coming from high school. I could talk to guys in high school kind of crazy. It was only probably one person, or I didn't talk to guys crazy, but I could get on anybody and they would go with it. Whereas college, I could get on people and one person ended up sneaking me, punch me. Yeah. Then I get to the pros and it's like, you got to be careful. You're not from here. And people don't all learn the same. Yeah. Some people you got to approach nicely. Others, you have to yell at them. Some you got to scream, and others, y'all may have to fight a time or two. Like,
and it's all love.
Right, it's all love.
That's how we're going to get to where we need to be.
That's what creates a leader because a leader will sacrifice, in the world of sports, a leader will sacrifice your friendship to tell you wrong for the betterment of the team. Yeah. A leader, a CEO, or whatever, leading a business is going to sacrifice the friendship y'all have to let you know, business-wise, you messing up. This is how this is how you should do it. Yeah. And more importantly, a leader is going to do it first, and then he going to do it with you and teach you versus a boss who's going to do this, do that, do that, do that, do that, which is what we were just talking about in our time. We didn't have trainers. No. So we had to get out there and do it ourselves. Now, all of us who didn't have are in the position to be leaders because we've done it now to teach it. Yeah. A lot of people don't have the patience to teach, which is why they fall off the leadership panel as well. Yeah. You can't just curse at everybody and all right, you know what, you out. Yeah. No. You got to get some grace. You got to shed some light, give some examples, tear them down. Then you got to build them up. You got to tear them down again, which sucks. And then let them build themselves up to see if they actually learn what you taught them. Yeah. So I think that the change from high school to college to pro was really were really all humbling experiences. I had to learn to deal with grown young men who got real issues going on, then to dealing with grown men who got families, who got kids. Yeah. I mess up in the game. I mess up their lives. Yeah. Their paycheck.
Yeah. But say this is how I feed my people.
It's something different. The leader aspect role of things is you're not just looking at what's in front of you, you looking deeper into what's in front of you. Who I got next to me, who can I depend on, who can I not depend on, who can I bring, and you're supposed to be uplifting every single person that's with you under your leadership. Yeah. Real leaders don't leave anybody behind. No. If you got to cut a branch, you cut a branch, but you bring the rest of the tree with you. Yeah. So I think that's what it was, is being more humble, showing more grace and learning how to reach everybody in the different ways that they needed to be reached in so we could achieve the common goal.
No, I think that's, I agree 100%. I love the word humility when we talk about leadership because I think oftentimes when people think of leadership, the image in their head is ego. The image in their head is kind of like that boss, dictator kind of image. But real leadership, like true leadership, happens in humility. As we're trying to reach people that are different than us, that respond differently than we do. Me and my wife talk about this all the time because she's one of the most self-motivated people I know. And she don't need nobody to tell her what to do. She gonna do it. She just gonna do it. Like if she gonna do it, she just gonna do it. And you tell her what she gonna do is gonna make her mad because she already knows she need to do it. Whereas like there's some people who if you don't say nothing, they won't. Like my godson, smartest kid in the world. If you don't tell him to do his homework, he's not doing it. Like he's just not gonna do it. Fact. But if you tell him to do it, he'll do it. And so, but understanding who you with, where you trying to take them, and how to get them there is I always say leadership is an art form. Yeah, it's not a science. It's not biology. It's not chemistry. It's like Picasso, man. Like sure, it's an art And it's some rules, right? Like there's some loose guidelines, but honestly, man, you just gotta paint.
You just gotta
like
paint.
you just gotta paint.
That was good.
And that's
I like
the only
that.
way that you get good at
I
it.
like it for sure.
And so I love that what you said about humility. You said something earlier, and I'm gonna come back to kind of what you said about leading different people, but you said something about being one of the most mentally tough people that you know. Tell us about how you got there and what happened in your life that challenged that, and when you came out on the other side, was like, all right, I got this. Like I got the mental fortitude to make it through whatever.
Okay, so I would say I've always been a mental tough person as far as being able to handle what coaches say, being able to handle adversity, tough situations, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It was two instances. It was two situations in 2 separate years.
Okay.
That put me in that category of like, I know I can make it through anything.
Okay.
Like, absolutely anything.
Yeah.
My first year at Southern Mississippi, I'm not gonna repeat everything Larry Eustace said, but he's my head coach at the time. We come from a loss, first game.
Yeah.
Played at Denver University. For all y'all who know basketball, know anything about Denver, Colorado, it's very high above sea level. It's hard to breathe.
It is, like, man. And until you play there, everybody can tell you about it. Yeah, you don't get it.
You got to experience and understand. And if you have like one of those masks they made a while ago, the
Bane mask.
Yes, the Bane mask. Get that, go run a mile. And if you finish the mile, that's what it felt like for us after the game.
Yeah.
Well, we lost that game. First game of the season.
Yeah.
We lose. I'm a sophomore. It's about 3 or 4 seniors on the team, all playing.
Yeah.
Larry Eustace comes in, and I'm the only person he cursed at. I'm the only person he was telling me I was eating the D word. I was sucking on this and that. Like, I had, balls in my mouth.
Oh,
like, this
Lord.
dude is going in on me. And I'm looking around the room like, I'm the youngest in the room. Like, how is this anyway?
My fault.
I
just got here.
I just got here, and I didn't start. I only played like 16 minutes that game. I did well, but I didn't play much. Like, how is this on my shoulders?
Yeah.
And at that moment, it was like, okay, because that went on for the whole season. The whole season, everything is my fault. Everything is my problem. I'm so stressed out. I'm in the gym 10, 12 hours a day, or nonstop, because I know he going to blame this next one on me if it happens. So that was the first instance where I truly learned that, okay, that was a mental beating I took from that man all year. Yeah. Mental beating. Now, was he trying to hurt me and abuse me and all that? No.
Probably not.
He saw my potential, and the only way he knew how to bring it out was the old school way of bringing it out. Everything your fault. I'm always against you type deal, which ultimately it brought my teammates started to see it, formed around me, followed me, and we didn't make it to the NCAA tournament. So his goal was achieved.
Yeah.
It was a terrible way for it to be done, but he got the gut. And back in that day, coaches they would verbally abuse you.
Oh yeah.
They would mentally
that's how
abuse you. That was a normal thing.
That's very normal.
Like, that's gonna happen.
That's why all them OGs is retiring right now.
Yeah.
Like Coach K, like, bro, I can't talk to buddy like that.
I can't even say that.
Yeah, man.
He talking about him.
He done called his mama.
Right. So now they got a march outside.
100%.
So what today is called, verbal and mental abuse. Back then was called you just being soft.
It's called coaching. Yeah.
Right, it's coaching.
And if you can't take it,
like,
you soft.
And then when you went home and told your dad or your mom, you're like,
stop being soft.
Stop being a girl. Like, stop being a punk.
100%.
So that was the first one.
Yeah.
The second one, I'm at Southern Miss. I'm under Donnie Tyndall now.
Okay.
Something happens in practice. I get snuck. All right. Jaw breaks in 2 places. Senior year is about to start. We're 2 months out when this happens.
Yep.
Not giving graphic details on what that, but, I lost 28 pounds. I went from
you couldn't eat. You was wired. I remember.
Mouth wire shut.
You was little.
Tiny. Lost 28 pounds. I had worked my butt off to get up to like 177. And that's hard. College weight is hard to.
Yeah, it's hard to put on weight.
To put on and then still perform at a high level at that weight. So I'm going hard that summer, and then preseason, boom, this happens. I lose 28 pounds. Going through that mental struggle of learning to chew again. Only drinking shakes for 4 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Using utensils. The first 2 weeks I was on bed rest, so not learning to re-walk, but learning to walk again.
Like you sit down for too long.
2 feet to the basket, and I need my mom to help me to get there. Like, and then I need something in the bathroom to hold because my legs ain't strong enough to hold me up. So after getting through that situation, making it to the very first game of the season and starting, I was like, you know what? I made it through this, and in that moment, I didn't feel like I had nobody from the team on my side. The players didn't really know what to do because it was something that happened between players. So they didn't really know what to do. The coaches is stunned too because one, they allowed it, and then the outcome of it was like, oh snap, you broke his jaw. So then it's like, well, let me get my legal team. So instead of checking up on me, they checking up on themselves.
Trying to make sure we don't get sued.
Trying to cover their footprints, right? Video and all that, they doing that. So I done fell into a mental space of where I'm physically down. I can't do anything physically. And then mentally is everybody, you can sue. You could do this. You could do that. Yada, yada. And I'm like, man, I got a legacy. I done spent 2 years here already. So the mental battle and the mental preparation behind all of that to come back. After that, I can make it through anything. I promise you I can make it through anything. I don't care if it really don't kill me.
Then
or it don't physically impair me from doing it. I'm going to be able to do it. So that second instance at Southern Mississippi, the broken jaw, which I still feel today, like I still don't have all my nerve tissue back. So it was like, all right, if I can make through this, I can make it through anything. If I can make it through it, you can make it through it for sure. It ain't as tough as you think it actually is.
No, that's good. That's dope. And I think that like a lot of people that I'm realizing as I develop leaders and I'm talking to people, a lot of people don't want to go through that.
Nope.
They don't want to. They want it to be easy. And one thing about leadership is just leadership ain't easy. Like being talented is easy, right? Like being talented is easy.
People love you when you're talented.
Being talented, but leadership ain't easy. And going through things like that test us in a way, but it also gives us perspective. And so that when we're working with people who are going through things, we're like, hey, you're here right now. You can't see this. But if you just keep going, right? You just keep drinking the shake. You just keep going. Keep walking. You're going to be able to play again. And I think that's like the beauty of leadership is walking people through those moments and being able to see them on this other side and be like, I told you. Like
look at you now.
Look at you now. I told you. And so one thing that you're doing right now is you are kind of you talked about it off camera, is like you kind of reaching back into the community and helping to try to develop some other people and just give them opportunities. How did your life as an athlete and your career as a pro kind of leverage or transition you into this role you're in now?
Ultimately, man, chasing basketball for as long as I'm still chasing basketball now with coaching, but the playing aspect, I went over to Iraq, did my thing over there. And I had been coming back constantly since I became a pro. I met a guy named Bo Fishback. And, knock on wood, I don't jinx anything. Bo Fishback probably his son will probably be a top 5 or a top 10 player in the country by the time he graduates high school. Should be. Doctor has him projected to reach 6'7", 6'8". Bo 6'8". But I met Bo and I met his son. I call him Mando. I'll let everybody else figure out his name when it's that time. I call him Mando. I come back for a summer. I'm doing a camp. Mando and Bo walk in. I always go to second grade, so I've been knowing these two since Mando was 6 years old. And it's about 5 years now, 6 years now. So going to this camp, and you know how you can spot either talent or you can spot a hard worker.
I got you. For the kid.
Height is a third thing as well amongst kids. But hard workers,
100%.
Real, like
100%. They jump off the page.
I want you. Like whether you talk, whether you're gonna be big or not, I want you.
I can coach that.
So this was Mando. Came in, we're doing layups with the second graders. He's doing layup cool. I was like, I can see you're a little bit advanced. Go over here and try between the legs. Mando couldn't do it. He was trying. Little second grader, anybody who coaches with little kids, the ball is bigger than the kid.
It's so big for them.
Even like 28.5.
It's like playing with a beach ball.
It is like it's huge. And they don't actually have muscles to push and control the ball. So he couldn't get it. Mando goes home. Camp ends at 4:30. Mando goes home, and from about 4:45, 5 o'clock till 10 p.m. at night, he didn't do nothing but practice between the legs. And this is what Bo told me. And I believe him because he came back the next day and Mando could do between the legs in the fashion of like switch his hands. So he was doing this. Look at this. Coach Neal, look at this. Special. Look at this. So I'm like, special. Okay. Yeah. So we've been together ever since.
Got you.
I went back overseas. He's like, Bo's like, hey, man, I want you to coach. And I'm like,
I'm hoping.
At this point, I don't see myself coaching. I'm hoping.
So that's why I wanted to know. So you didn't see yourself as a coach?
Nope. I didn't see myself coaching. And my mom used to ask me all the time, you ever see yourself coaching? You like you possess leadership skills. And I'm like, I don't really want to coach kids. Like, I just want to hoop.
Yeah.
As we all are when we're growing up.
I just want to hoop.
Basketball. Yeah. Right. But as you know, God got he got a different path for your life.
Yeah, you got to walk it.
He'll do what's necessary to make sure you get on it. You feel me? So in that case, I'm thinking about going back to play ball. Boom. Was engaged, ended, but that was all right, you here.
Gotcha.
Now I fell in love with coaching. I go to summer, I coach Mando and 2 other kids who are still with me right now. My guy Whistle and my guy we call The Hoyt.
Okay.
Both of them are still with me. We go down to Wichita and these kids they can play some basketball. They decent. MAYB.
Yeah.
We go down there and my boss at the time makes us play in a national tournament, but we got to play on 8 feet. The other 2nd graders and 3rd graders is playing on 10 feet. So we playing in pool play. The basket we go on is 8. But the basket they go on is 10. So after the first game, my kids are shooting the ball over the goal, and they're like,
what's going on?
Like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
So they go, Coach, can we try it on 10?
Yeah.
And this is where, like, for me, it was like, I'm a coach now. Because my boss was like, nah, we're going to do 8. They can do 10 because everybody on our team can't do 10. And I'm like, well, who can't do 10? Only his son. So I'm like, all right. So right now I'm low-key kind of having an argument with him. Like, dude, why we going to hold him back? Anyway, we make it to bracket play. Now we got to play on 10.
Yeah.
We make it to the freaking Final Four, end up losing, and then we end up winning 3rd place in the 2nd division.
Yeah.
And right there was where, like, the love, I was like, oh, dude, this is
like
fun. I was hooping. Yeah, like, that was it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a coach on the side, right?
But I'm in it.
I'm in it, though. Like, if anybody has ever seen T-Time play, we're building champions now, building champions T-Time. If you've ever seen us play, then you know I'm an extremely animated coach. I'm extremely loud. I'm vocal. Yeah. Like, I spew the energy, the enthusiasm, all of that, the effort into my boys.
Yeah.
And when I'm not there, you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Well, that moment was where I was like,
yeah.
I want this. I want this. So I took Bo up on his offer. I had retired that year, 2019, maybe 2019. Took over the team he started, and then that's exactly where T-Time was born. And ever since then, don't get me wrong, I still love playing. I can still hoop at a high level, but giving back now in that fashion, which first, and all of my kids are Blue Valley, DeSoto, Pembroke, Deep Overland Park. That's where we started. That's how it was.
Yeah.
But then we managed to link up with Homefield. Now is that part where it's like all of my KCK boys, KCMO boys, you feel me? Piper boys, North Kansas City boys, Tongi boys, like Topeka boys, Lawrence boys. Now we have a facility. Come to the city, Wyandotte County,
and get right.
Because we have a facility that we've never had access to before.
Oh yeah.
Now somebody has believed in Wyandotte, put myself, Jeff Hawkins, Betty Lennox in the proper area to bring in and build up our youth. It's like, all right, now, back then, we didn't have the tools to create athletes to push out to universities.
Yeah.
Because they got other stuff going on. If I can't get to a gym every day I got to go outside. Shoot, majority of the year it's cold outside. We can't play outside. Rain.
So cold yesterday, bro. Then I woke up. But yeah, no, you're right.
The climate plays a part for us. But if we got a facility we can get into, okay, now we can start getting some of our inner city kids out of these tough situations.
Yeah.
Get you off to a school, teach you that Division I basketball, Division I athletics is not the only way to get your education.
No. Especially free one.
Especially a free one.
Yeah.
And it's not the only way to a
play
professional
at a high level.
career.
Ain't no way. Yeah.
Some of the best professional hoopers I have ever played against did not play Division I basketball. Yeah. Didn't even get a chance.
Yeah.
NAIA, JUCO. Had to drop out and then came back at 25. Went to jail.
Yeah.
got out and still eligible. I'm like, what? But you cold though, so
that JUCO world different, though. That JUCO world different, dog. My mama wouldn't let me go. And they came to Sumner. They was recruiting. They was talking to Tay, and I was like, at the time I had no offers yet, and I was like, I was talking to one of them, Wooty Woo, and he was like, "What's your GPA?" I was like, "I got a 4.6." He was like, "Oh no." I'm like, "What you mean?" He was like, "Nah, this ain't." I'm like, "No." I'm trying to hoop. He's like, basketball, like we want you, but he was like, "Let me talk to your mama." Mom got to. She was like, "No." I was like, I want to go home.
My first day at Coffeeville.
Yeah.
My father was with me when this happened. I go into my apartment because I'm coming from a D1.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'm not staying in the dorms no more.
No, I can't do it.
I need an apartment.
Yeah.
Give me a roommate. I need an apartment.
Yeah.
Coach Herkelman, shout out to Coach Herkelman, coolest coaches around, made it happen instantly. So he has this coach named Coach Skinkus. Sorry, Coach Skinkus, if you seen this, but he was kind of corny.
Okay.
Corny dude. He takes me into my apartment. We go and check it. The apartment complex is small, but it's full of like 30 dudes.
Huh?
30. I kid you
in one
not.
apartment?
30 foot, in the apartment, but the complex.
Oh, okay. Got you.
30 people.
And they
I'm not lying. 30 people. So I walk in instantly. My radar is like,
wait,
yo, something's not right.
Yeah, whoa.
And it like you can hear him talking outside. And the second we walked in, dead silent. Dead silent. I'm like, come on, coach, let's do this and get up out of here. He's like, what's wrong? I said, do this and get up out of here. Like,
yeah.
And they all brothers in there. So I'm like, I know what time.
I know what time it is.
Somebody in here about to fight.
I'm from the city. I know what's on, man.
Somebody in here about to fight. Yo, let's get up out of here. He's like, oh, whatever. Okay. So we get out. We go to the car. I kid you not. As soon as we get to the car, pop the trunk, about to get my stuff out, boom, bust out the door. 2 dudes come out there fighting. They going. Man, all 28 of the other dudes came out, and they start throwing. I'm talking about it's a parking lot. It's a parking lot brawl, and they all on the same team, dog. They all on the same team. Yo, so when Justin say JUCO life is a life, yo, listen, JUCO is not meant for the weak.
It ain't, dog.
It ain't meant for the weak.
Ain't.
We had football players coming to tryouts. We had track players coming to tryouts. And 9 out of 10 were more athletic than the basketball players.
Yeah.
They just didn't have IQ and couldn't play basketball. Yeah. You could play open gym.
Yeah, but they couldn't hoop.
But structured basketball is a little different,
yeah,
right?
100%.
So it definitely like JUCO is it ain't for the weak. If you made it out of JUCO, I don't care what JUCO it was. Shout out to you, especially if you did 2 or 3 years. I was lucky; I got to do 1. But some of the guys doing 2 or 3 years, ooh man, shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Food is the same every week. Ain't no clubs, or you got to drive somewhere.
Yeah, because you in the middle of nowhere. JUCO's be in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. Unless you lucky like KCC.
KCK or Johnson County.
That's beautiful. Like, you right in the city then. But
no, you
the
in
rest of
Coffeeville.
them, if you're at a good JUCO,
you're Indy.
Nothing but plains.
Yeah. It's
ain't nothing but cornfields.
That's crazy. So, you working with the next generation, what do you notice that they need differently from leaders than maybe past generations?
I would say this generation coming up, what they need from us is our communication, one, but it's more so our participation. Like the generation coming up now is if I can't see you do it, I ain't gonna believe you did it type of deal. So it's really hard because in our generation, we didn't see nobody do it.
But we just listened.
Right, we took it off of, what they said. That's my OG.
Yeah.
If that's my OG and he's saying that,
I'm
listening because I trust my OG.
100%.
But now, it's a different generation. They don't even truly understand what an OG actually is because they so caught up into themselves and the social media world.
Yeah.
So what they ultimately need is, and I mean, our OGs say it all the time, and we say it now, becoming the OGs, they need to get outside and play more. Like, they need to get outside and interact more with people.
Yeah.
You feel me? Back in our day, if I want to go hoop, I'm going to knock on the neighbor's door for the homies.
Yeah.
Yo, let's go outside and hoop.
Yeah.
Or my dad gonna take me to the gym and practice. We're gonna do an open run. Like here, they get to an open run and be on social media the whole time.
Bro, be sitting on their phone.
Trying to do videos and whatnot, dunking and whatnot. It's like, bro, you've been at the gym for an hour and a half and you've worked on nothing.
And you still got your sandals on.
And you still got your
Crocs.
And that is my biggest pet.
You still in your Crocs. They be in their Crocs for an hour.
No sport mode. No sport mode.
It's crazy to me.
And it's truly insane. And some of my boys on my team, because I only coach one team now, even though I'm a youth director.
Look at you.
I just got my 30s.
Good for you, man.
So they're in program to, you come into practice, they got a group chat.
Yeah.
Don't forget your practice jersey.
Yeah.
Coach Neil is tripping.
He's
You don't have your
tripping
practice
today.
jersey. We had a light day the other day.
Yeah.
Everybody wasn't wearing their practice jerseys. I ain't say nothing until 10 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ran the last 20 minutes of practice. Like,
yeah.
the math don't even math up right there. Like, they was like, oh, we can go put, nah, you too late. Like, and I think that's, like, this generation needs more participation from us. And ultimately, it's showing up at practices, showing up at games. Parents, let the coaches coach.
Come on now.
You feel me? And then once it comes out, then you do your parenting. Because one thing that parents don't understand and one thing that athletes don't understand is that there's got to be a extreme separation and balance between dad and coach.
Yeah.
I don't like dad coaches. It don't matter if you're a cool dad coach or not. Like, there's got to be a difference because the athlete is always going to associate dad first.
Yeah.
Even if you tell him to call you coach, he may call you coach.
Yeah, but that's still
But in his mind, that's dad. If dad say, I got to do this, I really can't navigate off a course and be me as a player because that's dad.
I got to go home with him.
I got to go home with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it's coach and coach is confusing me, then whatever, then dad, who has the player or coach experience, can then navigate and bring your emotions in and support as a dad with the experience versus dad.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm coach.
Yeah.
And now I'm coach and now I'm dad. It's like, man, don't wear two hats.
Yeah.
Because that was, something that divided me and my dad growing up. He's hard and he was right about, and I can say that now, he was right about everything. He was right about everything. Basketball related, life related. He didn't miss. I'm 33 right now. Dad, you see this? Shout out to you, Pops. He didn't miss. But it's still as a kid, and every kid goes through it. I ain't trying to hear all that. And we all go through it with great parents around us, but it's not until we get older, in our 30s, like,
but he was right.
He was right about it.
Yeah, but he was right, man. He was on to something.
He was on to something. Because now we saying the same thing to the kids I coach, the kids you mentor.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, I sound like mine. I sound like
100%,
my mom.
100%.
Like, man, I sound like my dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see what y'all was talking about. I see what you're talking about.
100%.
So, I think it's just more participation.
I like that. No, and I think you're 100% right. It's so interesting because, like, I remember, like, as you was talking about, like, ROGs and stuff, I remember, like, my big brother Cedric. I remember he's probably the best player I was around as a young dude. Like, and I remember we used to go to open runs. I remember one time we went to open run, he was cooking Leo Lions, like, killing everybody, like, frying cats. And I'm like, yo, this dude's incredible. Bro, and I didn't even, everything he told me to do, I did. Like, no question, didn't need a second thought, didn't have to see it. And it's like, but now it's like because of how much video exists.
Right.
Like I remember, like even it's probably like 3-6 months ago, they was going through all Jordan stuff. And it was like, man, Jordan suck. And I'm like, y'all don't get it.
Y'all don't get it.
Y'all don't get it.
Y'all don't get it,
man.
Y'all think Anthony Edwards is amazing.
Like,
imagine what Jordan was doing.
And I just got an argument with my one of my homeboys the other day because he was talking about the 60s, players in the 60s. He's like, man, they all suck. I'm like, yo, what you don't understand is the difference in the rules, the difference in the like what they had available to them. I was like, it's just a different game. I was like, so for you to look back at him, like, man, he can't even dribble. So what you don't know is if you put your hand on the side of the ball, they call it carry. And to do a crossover, you had to drop the ball and pick it up with your other hand, or they call it double dribble. Like these are things that make a difference. If I said they call carrying the NBA today, they couldn't dribble like the way they do.
Facts.
And so the ideal, but like the the context is lost for a lot of our younger people when they look back in history and things like that. So I liked what you said about participation. Like they got to see it today for us to be like, oh, okay,
now I got it.
I got it. I'll do it.
I see what you actually had to go through to get to the basket. Like,
I'll
they
I'll
actually
do
could
it.
touch you. Like,
and bump you
and grab you. It was a whole different. It's a whole different game.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yep.
So no, I think, man, hey, one, I want to say thank you. This has been amazing. I've appreciated your growth as a leader, but just as a human. Like knowing you for 2 decades and knowing you from 8th grade geometry to now, I appreciate just being able to see you becoming just an incredible resource for the city we grew up in and the city we love. And so I do want to give you a chance. You could say, I got people that watch that are wanting to be leaders in sports, outside of sports. They just like, man, I am a leader. I want to be a leader. How can I do that? Can you give them 3 things before we get out of here that will help them become the best leader they can be?
For sure. First thing, you want to become, an amazing leader, pray. Find your faith foundation and stick to it. All right. God's going to lead you wherever you need to go, however you need to get there, and He's going to get you there when you need to get there. That's the first one. The second one is whatever you leading in, be stern in it. Be sound. Stand on your 10 toes. All right. Don't be second guessing or in a gray area type person. Live in the white and black. Make a decision or don't make a decision. Support it or don't support it. And the last thing is just be a person of your word. Follow through. You tell, people you lead, you're going to do something, do it, and along with being, follow through with your word, have communication. Great leaders are great communicators. They stick to their word and they give you their word, but they can communicate everything the right way. They can articulate, they can present, they're public speakers. All that falls under communication. So you do those 3 things, keep your faith, be stern on your word, and then, be a great communicator. I think you'll turn out to be a great leader if you are not one already. Yeah, no, that's dope. I mean, I don't got to say much. Y'all know what it is. He did a wonderful job. Hope y'all had your notepads out, learned a little bit, and I'll put your links and stuff in the description. People can find you, find what you're doing. And I just want to, like I said, say thank you for spending some time with us today. And as always, y'all, it's an honor, it's a privilege to be hanging out with y'all today. Y'all could be anywhere else, doing anything else on Beyonce's internet, but y'all hanging out with me, and I appreciate you. So until next time, man, peace. Crew Excellence, another great episode. I'm so honored to be leading the journey you're on. And I just want to let you know, this is what we're building here. We're building a community and an audience and a family that pursues excellence together. And if you want to be part of that family, right, this content's free. You can keep coming over here every Friday, catching a podcast, but we have so much more. First of all, if you join Crew Excellence, you get the podcast on Thursday. Yup, 24 hours early. Second thing, you get part of our private group where we talk about leadership every single day. You get Motivation Monday. You get discounts on merch. Okay. And anytime we have an event, you get first dibs on tickets. So I think that being a part of this community is amazing. There's definitely different levels to it. But hey, if you just watching and you say that ain't for me yet, cool. I appreciate you. Keep watching. Like, comment, subscribe. But if you want to go deeper and you want to be more of a part of a community that loves each other and that pushes each other to be their best self, go ahead, head over to the website, join Crew Excellence. It's a membership site on the site. You can join it, and then you get entered right into the community, plugged in. Hey, it's dope over there. I'm talking about fire. You missing out, but hey, I love y'all for whatever you do and however you are a part of Crew Excellence, and I can't wait till next week. Please watch another video. If you missed the episode, tune in because they all fire. All right, man. It's the host who's the Moses, your favorite Crew Excellence member, and I'm out. Peace.